fantastic. You guys have done great job to, you completed entire week with that great energy, and I strongly believe you started your week, you planned your week, and you reached to the end of this week with whatever you planned for. Okay, and I strongly believe you've given your fantastic efforts to finish that. Awesome. Now you're looking forward for the weekend, right? To enjoy and celebrate your weekend, and you deserve it. You deserve it. So, before you move towards that celebration mode, I want to quickly add value in your life. Okay. So, some of you might be already started commuting back to home. Some of you still there in the office doing that last submission or tweak before they leave. Okay, just find 10 minutes with me, because what I'm going to share with you again, it is basically one of our day-to-day psychological challenge we face in office, and I want to really work on today. I really want to talk on that today. Okay. But before I go into topic today, quickly introduce about myself. Hello, everyone. Those who are very first time listening to me, welcome to this live talk. Now, this live talk I'm arranging every day. The objective of this is to help you grow into influential leadership level. Okay, the I help mid-career, mid-senior project managers who are having more than 10, 15, 20 plus years of experience, who already achieved that subject matter expertise, and now you are really looking to grow towards leadership roles. Somewhere you feel stuck because you're doing great at your role, but you've not been selected for the leadership roles. Okay, and you performing, you delivering, you have experience also, but still you're not been selected for the next roles. And there are a number of reasons. One of the reason is that you are seen as an operational person, not as a strategic leader, because you are so much consumed into delivering the projects and the tasks and meetings, but you do not have time to solve the bigger problems of organization, bigger issues of the beyond the projects. And this is where the people at the top ladder, they're not able to find that leadership which they want to hand over. Okay, there's a perception gap. You think that you're doing great, but the people at the top ladder, they think this is what the normal thing is, this is what you get paid for, right? So there's a perception gap, and you should own to fill this perception gap. Okay, it is your responsibility because you have desire to grow as a leader. Okay, so there I come into picture. I help you guys to build that ecosystem where you work on filling that perception gap, where I help you, I coach you to show up every day to your core leadership strength, your core leadership values, which help you to demonstrate and help that change that perception also about you. And that's why you create impact, you create influence on the people, and get selected for the leadership roles, high income leadership role. So that's about me. Now let's go into the today's topic. So the today's topic, before I go, I want to ask you something. Tell me, have you ever entered a project meeting and you internally felt somewhere I'm not good enough to handle this, or somewhere I'm not really good enough to take on this? So outwardly, you showing it that you're calm, but internally there is self-doubt. There's a self-doubt running in your mind. The confidence is low. There is a internally you comparing yourself with others, and you are going through a lot of overthinking. So you see other people speaking confidently, and inside your mind, maybe you feeling that maybe I don't belong at this level. I don't deserve for this role. What if I say something wrong? What if people judge me? And slowly you shut down. You stop speaking. You stop influencing. You start shrinking yourself. And today I want to talk about something extremely important: leading when you feel low confidence at the workplace. Because many professionals are not stuck because of lack of capability. They are stuck because self-doubt is silently controlling their leadership behavior. Okay, so I want to share with you there's a hidden truth about confidence. See, most people, most mid-career professionals, they think that confident people become leaders, but real leadership works really differently. See, leadership behavior creates confidence, not the other way around. Okay, I read this book and I got this powerful idea from this book. The book name is The Confidence Gap. Now, this book explains something very powerful, that confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is you acting despite fear. Okay, so many professionals are waiting, they are waiting to feel confident before taking leadership action. That delays the that delays and that destroys your growth. Is that a bulb on moment for you? Type yes in the comment section. I'll share with you a real workplace example from my project experience. There was a time I had I had to lead a very high pressure stakeholder review meeting. Honestly, inside I was not fully confident whether I was able to do that. Why? Because the project risks were increasing. The senior leadership already was present in that meeting, so they were going to observe me, they were going to evaluate me. Stakeholders were difficult in that meeting, and pressures was high. So emotionally inside me, nervousness, self-doubt, fear of judgment. So my mind was saying, what if these people challenge me? What if I cannot answer them properly? What if the leadership observe me and find and me that I'm incompetent? What if the leadership loses confidence in me? And this is where many professionals collapse immediate internal. You know, many of us in this situation choose to stay silent. We choose to avoid visibility. We choose to speak weakly, and we choose to emotionally shrink ourselves. But that day, I realized something important, that leadership is not you feeling fearless. Leadership is about you behaving responsibly despite you feeling fear. So instead of emotionally withdrawing myself, I focused on clarity, I focused on preparation, I focused on communicating calmly, and also speaking structurally. And slowly, my confidence started building during action itself. And that day, I realized confidence grows when you take action, when you take leadership action, not before it. Is that a bulb-on moment for you? Type BO in the chat box, in the comment section. Okay. So, why I'm sharing this. There's a leadership psychology behind confidence. And if you really want to understand this, I would recommend you read one more book. Is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Now, this book explains that fear never disappears completely. Even successful leaders feel fear, they feel self doubt, they have uncertainty. But the difference is they still move forward, even they feel fear, even they feel self doubt. So, low confidence is not leadership weakness. Avoiding leadership action because of low confidence is the real weakness. Is a huge difference here. Low confidence is not leadership weakness. You avoiding leadership action because of low confidence is a weakness. Is that a bulb on moment for you? Type BO in the chat box again. So now I want to discuss with you, I want to share with you what are those low confidence behavior most project managers don't notice in day to day life. And I want you to note this down. What are those low confidence behaviors? The first behavior, you are over explaining unnecessarily. This is a low confidence behavior because internally you are seeking approval from others. You get that point? Yeah, that's the first behavior, over explanation. Second, you staying silent in important meetings. You choose to stay silent because somewhere in back of your mind in you have that fear of judgment which is stopping you, that what if I say something and people will lose confidence in me, the leadership people will start judging me, so you decide to stay silent. That's the second behavior. The third is you avoiding the difficult conversation. Okay, because somewhere emotionally you are not ready for it, you feeling emotional discomfort, and it feels dangerous to you also. So avoiding, you avoid difficult conversation. That's a third behavior where the you are you showing low confidence. The fourth is depending too much on other people's validation or other people's approval. What does it mean? It means you somewhere believe that confidence become externally controlled, that if I get validation from other people then I will have confidence, I'll get the confidence. That's a wrong way of setting your mind. You don't need any validation from other people to tell something. You want to share something. These four low confidence behaviors many project manager ignore. These behaviors reduce the it increases the perception gap which I was talking about. The people at the top ladder, they see this, and and this is how they start perceiving you as not ready for the leadership role. Okay, that's the truth. This is the practical thing. So I want you to note this down. Now I want to quickly establish there is a difference between wrong emotional response versus what is the leadership response, high value leadership response. So I want to make it a little practical here. So let's talk about low confidence response first. How to see, how can you identify that there's a low confidence in your behavior? I told you already the four, but now let's understand. If you are avoiding eye contact, that's a low confidence response. If you always speaking apologetically, even if you are not making any mistake, speaking apologetically, that is low confidence. You doubting your words, and that's why you're getting fumbled, and you revisiting those sentences, and because of that you again over explaining. That is a low confidence. And you hesitating, you hesitating to participate or discuss or confront or get in difficult conversation, that is also low confidence. So what happens when you show this type of responses? Obviously the stakeholders will lose confidence with you. Okay, so that was a low confidence response. But what is actually high value leadership response? Even if you are internally self doubt, even if you are internally nervous, even if you are internally not sure, I want you to speak slowly. If you do not, if you don't have entire thing in front of you to speak what exactly the entire thing, speak slowly, one sentence at a time. Okay, you will get some more time to think, and you can structure your thoughts. And when you're speaking, you acknowledge the situation and quickly move on to solutions, to actions, so that other people understand that you are not only preaching something, you actually doing something else. and stay calm. So when you do this one, what happens? The people who are watching you and observing you and listening you, they they see that you are not actually you actually owning these things. They feel confident about you, and that's how the perception changes for you. This is what I call executive presence. Okay. Now the question is how should we build, how should we bring this shift? So I'm going to share with you three practical shifts which you should implement day to day right now. The shift number one, I want you to move from waiting for confidence to gain to taking action, leadership action. So don't wait to feel yourself ready. I want you to take small actions, small leadership actions daily. This will help you to build confidence. So, for example, speak once in the meetings, ask strategic questions rather than speaking, randomly. Ask strategic questions, lead small discussions. So, actions build confidence, not vice versa. Okay, so take actions and build confidence. The shift number two, move from self focus to outcome focus. See, low confidence increases when mind focuses on, am I doing good? Am I doing great? What people thinking about me? How am I looking? That is a low confidence when mind focuses on this. So I want you to shift focus to, how can I help this situation? This reduces the consciousness instantly. The third shift is, I want you to change your identity. What is your identity right now? Most of the people are having this identity of fear identity. Because of they stay silent, they choose to stay silent, they shrink themselves. So I want you to move from fear identity to leadership identity. So don't say to yourself internally, I am underconfident. Start asking yourself this question: how would strong leader behave despite fear in this situation? This is the identity, and that identity changes your behavior rapidly. Okay, so these are the three shifts I want you to implement immediately. Now we come to the close of this topic, and I want to share with you something more powerful before we close. Many professionals today are silently struggling with low confidence, but here is what I want you to remember deeply. Confidence is not something leaders are born with. Confidence is built through consistent actions, and I will say consistent, uncomfortable, imperfect actions. Okay, consistent, uncomfortable, imperfect actions, like difficult conversation, like pressure situations. You participating in there is a brainstorming session. There will be people are not aligned with each other. You taking them, bringing them together. You showing repeated leadership behavior. And every influential leader you admire today was once having self-doubt, uncertainty. Okay, so next time if the fear appears, don't ask, do I feel confident enough? Ask, what leadership action is needed right now, despite fear you have internally. Okay, that question can transform your leadership career forever. Now, if this talk resonated with you, I want you to comment confident in the comment section. And in case you are one of those mid-career project manager who going through this low confidence phase of your career right now, I want you to book one-to-one slot with me. There is a link in the comment section, and also if you go to my book and appointment page on LinkedIn, I want you to book the slot with me. Okay, and the good thing for you, if you're listening me right now, I want you to know this, that there is a webinar I'm conducting today at 8 p.m., and this will help you. I'm going to share there to some of the strategies to build your confidence. I'm going to share with you my influential leader blueprint to build your authority, to build trust, and also to build your legacy. Okay, so don't miss this webinar. It is 8 p.m. today. If you're rushing home to for commuting home, I want you to attend this webinar. Okay, so the link is again in the comment section. I'll see you in the webinar. So that's it for today. I'm going to sign off from Bangalore. This is your leadership coach Tushar Chaudhary. Tomorrow, once again, I'll come back with another insight. Okay, leadership insight. Until that moment, implement what we learn. Okay, ask me questions. I would like to answer your questions also. And until that moment, take care of yourself. God bless you.